So my name is Jonathan Desrochers. I go by JD, and my title is Executive Vice President here at Red Ventures. I lead our corporate technology team. So over the last 20 years, Red Ventures has built many online digital brands to help consumers make those important life decisions. While many people may not have heard of Red Ventures, you've probably heard of the brands that we operate as. And some of those brands include Bankrate, The Points Guy, CNET, and Lonely Planet. You may be on the market for a new digital camera that you want to take with you on your next trip. You may search for best camera reviews or best cameras 2020, and likely you're going to find one of our articles on CNET where we reviewed the popular cameras that are out there in the market. So we're helping you make the best decision for the camera to purchase. Internships are definitely part of our recruiting. There's definitely a war for talent, trying to have a multifaceted approach to acquiring talent. Internships gives us an opportunity to meet folks and understand, their aptitude, attitude, their willingness to learn. In some cases, we make offers to our interns before they even go back to school for when they graduate. So I think internship at a small company is a great way to get started. With a smaller company, you have the opportunity to work on a lot of different things versus starting at an internship at a larger company, you may focus on one area. So it may be web development only versus having an opportunity to do, in my case, a mixture of web development and IT operations. I think it's definitely skills that I learned along the way. So I did build on the experience that I gained from college, but it's been on-the-job training, learning as I go, learning by making mistakes, learning what's not working to continue to get better. And the learning never ends on all of these things, right? Especially in technology. In order for us to continue to stay relevant, we have to continue to learn. And I think it's the same thing about being a great leader. We need to continue to challenge ourselves to think differently and learn different techniques to continue to motivate and grow our teams. Red Ventures operates as 20, 30, many different startups. We're organized in a collection of business units. And the idea behind that is how can we try to operate as small as we can, even though Red Ventures continues to grow? How do we scale and continue to maintain that speed and culture and passion that we've had that's made us successful? Versus having all of our professionals who have the same skills working in the same group. Instead, we're organized so that we have teams that work on our financial services work together, or teams that work on education work together to continue to have that kind of small company feel. I think traits of a great leader include being a great listener, somebody who works hard, egoless, humble, and has a great ability to motivate and grow their team. There are leaders that it comes naturally to, but I think the majority of people like myself have learned the skills along the way through education and training, as well as seeking feedback, working with mentors, but continue to grow those skills over time through experiences. Some of those are good experiences of things that you learn that have gone well, and experiences where you may have made a mistake and you learn. If you're not failing, then you're not understanding your true potential. And that may be yourself in terms of kind of your skills of where you might be today, or even technology or other things that you may be innovating or implementing. That's where you're going to understand where you may have challenges. As a software developer, you are getting feedback along the way of what's working and what's not working in your craft. So your code's either running or your code's not running. And as you continue to kind of grow as a leader, you may not be getting that real-time feedback in that same manner. So it becomes important for you to kind of seek that in other ways. So I define innovation as doing something new. And that may be improving a business process, that might be implementing new technology, it might be creating or inventing something new. So the approach to innovation at RV, we're innovating every day, and we have to continue to innovate. I think if companies are not innovating, then their competitors are going to be innovating and you will ultimately be disrupted. There's been several examples within Red Ventures where we have innovated as part of a team. For example, we have our data science team, and we started that out centralized where we needed to build some of those capabilities and think about how we're going to solve that at Red Ventures. And as that team became successful, they became a bottleneck. At that point, we decided to decentralize that team. So each of our industry groups, the way that our business is organized today, they have those expertise within the team so that those smaller teams can then prioritize, innovate, and leverage that technology. Someone looking to innovate, I would suggest that you start with something small. Try to find some low-hanging fruit within your team or your business or your company where there's something that you can get a win. I think showing value and showing the improvement will give you the motivation and encouragement to continue to do more. When the pandemic started, our agility was put to the test. In just 24 hours kind of notice, all of Red Ventures, all 4,000 of our employees globally started working from home. There were a couple of bumps along the way as we transitioned into the work from home environment that we worked through quickly, but ultimately Red Ventures was well positioned to move into this environment. That's a testament to Red Ventures culture, that's our people and the flexibility that we have and that we bring every day, as well as the technology. So all of our employees had laptops prior to the pandemic because we wanted to enable people to work from home or from other offices or anywhere before, and that played very well into the success of moving into the pandemic. Throughout the pandemic and the post-pandemic world, we're leveraging technology to help us continue to kind of build, foster, and grow our culture. The in-person meetings that we did before, we have moved more of those to a virtual format. And it's not just one-for-one replacement of an 8-hour meeting turning to an 8-hour Zoom. It's how do we find ways to keep people engaged and share, content that they can read asynchronously versus the traditional approach of, a conference. My name's Jonathan Desrochers, and those were my notes on innovation.